Now, if you've reached this step, it basically means that you've nearly finished your research. So what I have to say to you is congratulations and well done. I know for some of you it will have been a rocky road. Some of you will have found out a tremendous amount of information. And what we're going to do now, we're going to try and bring all that information together. You probably have in your head the answers to your questions. And hopefully you do, because that means that you know your stuff pretty well. And the idea here is that you write down what you think your key findings are, the main things that you have found out in answer to your question. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go through your sources and establish that these key findings really are key findings in the sense that they are mentioned in a number of different sources. Now, hopefully, when I show you various ways of doing this, your understanding will develop as to what you need to do. So, for example, here is one way of sort of presenting your key findings, right? And showing the cross-referencing. So this person has got a question, as you can see at the top there, and one of their main answers to their particular question was that volunteering actually changes the way that people view their lives. And another key finding this person thought was, well, you know, a lot of people sort of have a different mindset as a result, one of appreciation and gratefulness. And so what they've done is they've gone through and they've sort of said, right, okay, this is one of my key findings. It is mentioned by all of these sources of information here. Okay, so that's one way of doing things. Now, another way of doing things is in a chart. So let's just take this example, and all of them are in the 2017 Community Files section under Key Findings. This person has done the key findings down the side here. And what they've done is they've itemized the type of source. See here? There we go, going through. And then they've shaded in if this key finding is mentioned in that particular source. So you've got a quick visual as to how many times a source mentions, all the sources mention a particular key finding. And so therefore the question here is, how does visual art therapy work? Well, it gives patients opportunity to communicate non-verbally to children. And you can see that loads of the sources actually comment upon this particular thing. So that is a particularly strong key finding. And some of the key findings will be pretty obvious. But what you're aiming for is not necessarily the factual ones that appear everywhere. You're aiming for the ones that are real answers to your particular question. Here's another way of doing it here. Another chart, just with ticks really, but same difference. Color coding up at the top there, and we're told on the bottom what sort of source of information it actually is. That's page 1 of 4, and then that would be accompanied by the bibliography. Another way of doing it, if you don't like charts, is together with the bibliography that would name and number these sources, you put down your key findings in a list here, and then you say, you know, which particular sources mention them. And so you can see here some key findings are more supported than other ones, really, although, you know, they're still pretty important. Another way of doing it is like this. This person kind of felt that the chart format didn't quite suit his research. So as you can see, he's kind of divided up his research into different ways, and this works just as well. And as you can see, he's got all of his sources actually referenced underneath. And it's basically what suits you. That's the most important thing. What suits you and how best you can display your own key findings. And remember to talk to your teacher about the best way for you. Good luck with that.